Gone are the days where people believed that if you were going to be in a relationship with someone, it had to be from a person from your clan, a person from your race, a person from your country or your state and all of that. We live in a world where people travel a lot. People are excited to learn about other people, and people are not afraid to be in love and be in a relationship with people that are far, far, far apart from where they themselves come from. So today we're going to be dealing about intercultural relationships. Welcome to the Relationship Hub with the Smart Couple. Let's get into it. How can you have a successful relationship with someone from a totally different culture than yourself?
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Again, always on point in your introduction.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think one of the ways things we're going to be looking at, since human beings are made up of their culture.
Yes.
My culture defines the way I relate, the way I act.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm falling in love with someone else from a different culture, from a different race, from a different continent, I should be able to know some certain things. One of the points we're going to be looking at is conflict resolution. For example, I'm originally from Africa, Nigeria, and we are more kind of confrontational in addressing issues compared to the West. They are not that, they are kind of indirect in addressing issues. We have to sit down, we have to talk, we have to say, okay, if you see me act like this is the reason why. You that is from the West, for instance, falling in love with me, you should be able to know that when I'm doing this is not because I'm trying to be aggressive or that is how I am, because I'm made up of my culture. But it has to be, there should have to be a balance. They have to come to a point where they have to agree and say, okay, I don't do well in confrontations when we have issues of addressing conflict. So I prefer, or you get the best of me if you are indirect or you come in a softer way than the way you react. I think things like that will help in addressing issues so that we don't fall out.
Okay. So when it comes to intercultural relationship, before you date someone of a different culture than you, or even maybe you're in that relationship right now, one of the things that you have to bear in mind is you have to be ready to teach and be willing to be taught, right? Meaning that when you go into that relationship, don't just feel like it's both of you against the world. Oh, my love, your love against every other person, and it's just you and I, nobody else matters. We just need to know about us. At the end of the day, I don't know what kind of relationship it's going to be if it's just the both of you. Something is definitely going to be off there. But you should be willing to teach this person about where you're from, because you didn't fall from the sky. You came from somewhere. So you should be able to teach them, oh, this is who I am. In my culture, this is how we do things. Even if it's something unpleasant, it's still good to share with them what that thing is. And also you be willing to be taught, be willing to learn from the person that you're in a relationship with. Learn about their culture. Don't feel like only yours should be learned because yours is more superior or yours is more popular. Also be willing to learn from the other person as well. That way both of you have an understanding about where each other are coming from.
That's true. I think that's also, you just fall into the next point I wanted to make, which is respect your partner's culture. Truth is that your culture is not superior to mine.
Yes.
And my culture is not superior to yours. It's just if we are going to live together, we don't have to downplay the other person's culture. We should be able to say, okay, this is what your culture says and this is what can we meet at the middle. I have seen some people that are in relationship where they try to downplay the other person's culture, especially if it has to do from the West and from the West and Africa, for instance. The ones I've seen, they try to say, "Oh, that's barbaric," saying things like that is automatically downplaying who I am or my culture. So if you respect me or if you love me enough, you should be able to respect where I come from and the way I see things. You might disagree, that's fine, but we can disagree respectfully. On issues.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, when you're in a relationship, we must be able to separate the good culture from the negative culture, right?
Okay.
Because there are some cultures that are just not proper. There are some human beings that are so very, very, very cultural that no matter where they go, they hold on to some aspects of their culture.
They don't put the situation
where
into
they
consideration.
Into consideration that no matter where they are, that mindset can work if they are in their country of origin. But when they come to a different place, that mindset may not necessarily work. Just imagine, for example, somebody who comes from a culture who believes that a woman is only supposed to be a wife and bear children. Not that that is a bad thing, but if, for example, you come now and the job you're doing is not able to sustain the household and keep the house running, and the woman is educated and, and can work, and you say, well, my culture therefore forbids that you do this. And so when it comes to your culture and relationship, you need to be able to separate, okay, what part of my culture do I need to let go that is going to impact, that is not necessary for life,
right? That
is going to impact this relationship in a negative way. What do we have to sift out of our culture so that we can come together and be more effective in this relationship? So the ability to be able to separate, some certain aspect of your cultural beliefs.
Like, let's take, for instance, you want a woman to cook. They said women are to cook, right? Consistently, based on some culture.
Yes.
That they are meant for the kitchen. However, let's say she's working and you are working. And you come back from work, right? At the same time, or you came early and she's still at work and she finally comes back from work and you sat down watching TV waiting for her to come and just cook. I think sometimes some of those things are, I think when you need to come to compromise in some certain things. Concerning that, you guys have to have a discussion. If you guys want to be buying fast food, based on that, if you know you are a man that you were not taught how to cook, or you didn't know, you don't like cooking, it's not in your culture, it's okay, based on this, we're going to be ordering fast food to eat so that when I come, I can eat. You guys can walk around it instead of always wanting her to, after the stress of the day, to also come and do some certain things.
Yes.
I think that's another aspect that we can look at. And also to the woman, just thinking that this is a man's job. In some culture, they say this is a man's job. And the man is not around, and situations are not really in line on ground to help the man. For the man to do what he's doing, and you say, no, I can't do it. The man has to come and do it because it's a man's job.
Yes.
I think some of those things have to be upgraded. Yeah, I think that will also lead me to the gender roles that we talk about in some culture. Some cultures have what they expect a man to do and what they expect a woman to do. I remember many years ago when we had Mission, and one of my guy called me then from Nigeria, and he had a baby crying, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm with my little girl." Then you went to work. So I was with Mission so that when you come back, you take care of Mission and I do what I got to do. So I was taking care of her, and he said something. No, that was the first time. Then another day he called me again. He heard Mission crying, and he said, "What do you do?" I said, "Okay, I'm just taking care of my daughter." He said, "My guy, are you a nanny now? Are you doing a baby? Is it a babysitter you are now?"
As if it's not. She was not. You are not her father.
Yeah. So, but no, you don't blame him. I think he's talking from a position where, in some places, the culture doesn't see men doing that or taking care of. Say, I'm changing my baby's diaper. I'm doing that. So in some situations like that, culture have to be improved upon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So another thing I want you to consider is you need to understand the sensitivity of the different holidays that mean a lot to them, right? For example, if you're a Caucasian married to a black person, an African American, right? You need to be sensitive about some certain holidays like Martin Luther King Day, like Juneteenth. You must, since you've decided that, okay, we're going to do this relationship thing together, you also need to be sensitive. Don't just discard the things that are important to them.
The holidays they take seriously.
Yeah, the things that they take seriously. Don't just discard it just because it doesn't concern you, and put up some defenses like I wasn't there, none of my business, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
You be sensitive, be supportive. If Juneteenth is so important to them and you're of the opposite race, support them. You decided to date them. You knew that they were from a different race than you. So, and vice versa, whatever the case is, talk about these things, how it impacts them. Is it something that you guys are always going to fight about when it gets to that point? Or is it something you guys, you're not going to be able to deal with? But these things are sensitive. So talk about these things. How are we going to celebrate these holidays? When we have kids, how are these things going to be dealt with?
Right.
So just be sensitive to different holiday seasons and determine what is important and infuse yourself in it and make them feel like you're a part of that you are a part of their life and whatever it is that is going on in their life. That's
true. So another part that we're going to look at is language, the way people talk. Culture. I've been to places where when they are talking, I'm trying to pay attention because of the set of race kind of thing. People speak differently based on culture, their race. Because for me, I came from a place where we talk loud.
Yes, you think we're fighting.
Sometimes you actually think we are fighting when we are talking. Maybe on phone. Sometimes when we're on phone, someone will say, "Are you guys okay?" Yeah, we are okay. We are not quarreling. That's how we talk. So if I'm going to, if you are dating someone from the culture that have those that are loud, you want to understand them to an extent, and also you that is loud, and you are getting into a place where they are not that loud. You have to. They don't talk that way. Their language is different. The way they express things are different. You have to pay attention, and to see how I can reduce my loudness, or I can reduce my some kind of words that we use. There are some words that we use between our culture that some people might think that it's too harsh.
Yeah.
So if we have to unlearn some certain things and relearn them, if we are going into interracial or intercultural marriage, we must put some of those things into consideration. Which part of my life should I tone down?
Yes.
Which part should I just let be? Which part I just can't give up on? That this person have to learn. If you know that there are parts like that, then you have to emphasize that part during communication with the person you are getting into a relationship with.
Yes.
Talking about this as well. I've seen a situation where someone who was in relationship with from where I come from, Nigeria. And he got married to someone from the West, and the lady just a time called the mother of the spouse by name.
Yeah.
Hi, Ima, and the mother didn't find it funny at all. Like, how are you calling me by my name?
Just so you know, I don't know how it is in the Asian bloc, right? But in Africa, if you call any adults by name, honey, it's a taboo. The reverse is, in the West, they prefer you to call them by their first name.
Okay.
But in Africa, Nigeria specifically, they're older than you, they're auntie, they're ma, they're mommy, but they are never their name.
Yes. So that situation, for instance, I felt that they did not really, the person involved did not really teach the spouse his culture or what is important to them before the mom came.
Yes.
Because if he had done that, the lady would have known that, okay, this matters to Africans or to Nigeria.
And, I think that was something that I actually forgot when I was talking about the teachability.
Okay.
You teach proper teaching.
It's very important.
And also be ready to be taught. So I think I'm going to kind of talk about that in this next point, which is when it comes to intercultural relationship, food, believe it or not, is a big factor. It's important that you understand what kind of food this person eats, what kind of food this person likes. Peradventure, you're in a relationship now, but in case you get married, you have to care enough about this person to know what kind of food did you eat growing up. I don't know how to make this food, but can I learn how to make it?
Right.
And I know of a lot of Americans who've married Nigerians, and the wives, which that I know of, right? I'm speaking of who I know of that were African American. They had to learn how to prepare Nigerian meals. Nigerian meals are very popular now, anyways. But they had to go the extra mile because of the love and the respect and the value that they have for their partner. They have to go the extra mile to learn about their food and about, what kind of things, the spices they use and stuff like that. It's not right just, to condemn, ew, what's that food? Because you don't understand the food, oh my God, you're eating this stuff, it's so nasty. Every time they want to eat, oh my God, you're eating this, it's so nasty. Because people eat different kind of things, right?
Yes.
Chinese people eat all kind of things that Africans cannot even dare eat. And Africans eat all kind of things that other countries cannot dare eat. So,
and even the West, they eat some kind of
things
food
that we don't dare
Africans
eat.
cannot dare eat.
So instead of being disgusted by the things you don't understand, just, even if you're probably never going to eat it, that's okay. But you can even learn how to make it. So be respectful, and this is for anybody. Vice, however it is, be respectful of each other's food.
And even you as a Nigerian who married, you say, oh, I don't like their food, they don't have good food. If you marry someone from the marrying an American, for instance, and you say, oh, I didn't grow up with this kind of food, I don't like their food. Just dismiss it
as if they are eating
trash. Yes, that might even hurt this person you are with. Sometimes you just compromise, eat some things. How do you prepare it?
Just eat it and just it's good. Before you know it, the love that you have for the person will make it taste very delicious.
but that's true though. When you love someone, there are some things that just become so good that you don't really like on a good day. But love just covers it. When the Bible says love covereth multitude of sin, that includes many things because of love you can do.
Absolutely.
So another point we're going to be talking about is parenting. It differs from culture to culture. I'm going to talk from where I come from. In Africa right now, for instance, the way we raise up kids is a kind of different in terms of discipline. On our kids. We have a certain way we discipline our kids. We really don't do, I'll take your phone from you, or I'm going to close the door, or just go to your room. Don't come out. That's not the kind of discipline we grew up with. So when an African, if you are married to someone who came from different culture where...
I know Espanol, the Arabs, we all have the same language with the belts and the slippers. We understand the language.
So if you're married to someone from a different culture where the highest, discipline is, go to your room, right? That's fine. That's the way she was raised. But you guys have to understand that two of you are different, so you guys have to talk about this. In my culture, we believe that you spare the rod, you spoil the child. You guys have to talk about it, and you have understanding that this is what it is. That when that person is dealing with the child, it's not dealing with the child because he's angry or he hates the child. But it's
not being violent.
It's not being violent. Where the man just finished, he thought he has done a great job, and the next thing he saw a policeman at the door. Somebody have called the police on him and said he just hit my child or something. So those are very important things that we need to consider. And also, I think in our culture, in some culture too, there's this preference on gender in raising kids. The way they treat the male child differently.
Example, I think the Arabs do that a lot. They value the male child.
You're actually going to the Arab. I didn't know Arab does that. Africans, we do that as well.
Africans do that as well.
They give the gender. They treat the male or the male child kind of different from the way they treat the female child. Which is not okay. I can confidently say I don't like it because I'm from there, so I'm not condemning someone else's culture.
It's not. They're beginning to
they are coming out of
that right now.
But it has been a pattern where a male child cannot go to the kitchen, cannot do we focus so much on the female child. You are going to get married tomorrow. How will you treat your husband? We don't teach the male children how they will treat their wives. We make emphasis so much on you are a woman. You're going to be married tomorrow. How will you treat your husband? How will you treat? So there's so much responsibility on the child, a female child, that is not on the male child.
I remember,
and it's a problem.
I remember, growing up, any little thing I did, if I didn't put water in the cup well, is this how you're going to serve your husband? If I didn't sleep, is this how you're going to do it? Every little thing, but never for once did I ever hear anyone tell my brother, is this how you're going to be a good husband?
Yeah.
So
So when you have those kind of culture, and you are marrying someone who they don't place preference on gender, whatever, you want to talk about it. You want to compromise. You want to understand and say, okay, this is how you are and this is how I am. So where can we meet? Let's meet at the middle in terms of raising up these kids.
Yes.
It's very important.
I think lastly, still tying to this family thing, some cultures are strong on extended families having access into your home. For example, when you get married, it's okay for extended families to come and they can stay as long as you want. And just imagine you're marrying, especially example, someone from the West. The West are, I think they're one of the cultures that love quiet and privacy.
Right.
And just imagine you're marrying someone who they believe that all the extended family should come live together in the house. Your mother, your grandmother, your uncle, your auntie should live together in the house. Imagine the chaos that is going to bring, but when you're dating this person, that's a big part of that's a
conversation that you guys should have.
So
yes,
these are the things that you need to know, as you date someone from a different culture. Kind of know what are the things that they cannot compromise on in their culture. Are you okay with that? And vice versa. So if you're not okay with it, instead of putting yourself through heartache and at the end of the day a breakup or a divorce, just don't deal with it.
Yes, because don't forget that people are their culture.
Yeah.
Whatever the decisions I take, the things I do, 70 or 80%, it is influenced by my culture. So if you are getting into marriage, we are pointing out all these aspects so that you can have a talking point.
All right, guys, that's it. At the end of the day, it's all about communication. That's the key.
Come on. Very important.
There is love in every language, but you have to learn to communicate. And I think we're gonna be okay. If you're an Asian dating an African, if you're an African dating a Jamaican, whatever it is, as long as you communicate, you're gonna be okay. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. If you want us to be your relationship coaches, feel free to contact us on the website on the screen right now. Thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I know you're wild.